we've been used to polarize this issue, and I think it's done nobody any service in terms of environmental groups or any groups outside of that using us as a political lightning rod.
Now, whether it's the right...
Opportunity must be at the heart of legitimate efforts at reconciliation.
Or the left.
Through this process that we can both protect reconciliation.
Words like reconciliation, allyship, cultural awareness, those words are being used to bolster support or opposition for resource projects. But are groups using those words really acting in the best interest of Indigenous people?
The problem around buzzwords is they don't require a lot of hard work in terms of critical thinking.
An assistant professor in Indigenous Studies at Mount Royal University, Dr. Gabrielle Lindstrom, says it's hard to define what these buzzwords actually mean.
Reconciliation sounds really nice. It sounds as if, okay, this is something that I can do without really understanding the deep commitment that it requires. Is it true that Canada was found through a pioneer spirit and brave pioneers, you know, seeking new land? From a Canadian perspective, sure, and from a government perspective, that's truth. For Indigenous people, that's not true.
Over the past few weeks, protests and blockades around the country have revealed confusion about what is at the center of the conflict. Is it about climate change, the economy, land rights, sovereignty, or governance?
I think it's all about those issues, right? And we can't simply think about these issues in a you know, truth or lie or binary, you know, polarizing fashion.
Adding to the tension, Teck Resources recently withdrew its application from the Frontier Oil Sands project, something Ron Quintal was hoping would bring an economic boost not just in his community, but to Canada. With news of Teck's withdrawal, he says it's a step backwards in uniting Canada and is now focused on what's next.
You're going to need the Indigenous people to be involved in those talks. You look at the protests and the roadblocks throughout the country. You look at the fact that the Premier and the Prime Minister, are constantly firing back at each other. I think it's important that, you know, we collectively get together in a room and we try to find some common ground to close the gap.
In Calgary, Jackie Perez, City News.